Hi, and welcome to the Chasing Care podcast, tips and guides. And today I just want to touch on how people search for care. And background story really is, why are they searching the way that they search? There's probably 7 key areas that people look at, and they tend to reflect concerns about service quality, affordability, and ultimately the well-being of their loved one, with a strong focus on finding reliable and personalised care services. So that's the foundation of how people search. So now let's look at the way people search online, be it using Google or Bing or some other platform. So when the general public searches online for personal care for a loved one at home, this isn't for care homes, this is for somebody who wants to stay in their own house, their queries tend to focus on the following key areas, and here are some of the most common search terms. And the first one is types of care services available. What does that mean? Well, people search for specific types of in-home care or care at home services, such as, this is a typical search term, personal care services, or home care for elderly, or disability care at home. Those are probably the top 3. And they want to know what kind of support is available, including help with daily tasks such as bathing, dressing, cooking, medication management, meal preparation, and companionship. So that's the first chunk. Second chunk is looking more towards costs and funding. Search terms often include cost of home care services, home care fees, or funding for home care. People in essence want to understand how much they will need to pay and what financial support is available, such as government assistance, personal budgets, or even insurance coverage. Then we move on to look at care provider reviews. So that's the third area, and families want to ensure that their loved one receives quality care. So they frequently look for best home care providers near me. Best home care providers near me. Or home care provider reviews. Or CQC rated care providers. Now, CQC, for those that don't know, is the Care Quality Commission, and they are the folk that regulate care across all areas, including adult care, children's care, care homes, home care, etc. So they're looking for, so people are looking to find out from the regulator exactly who's who and what's what. And it's actually a good point to say that the Care Quality Commission, cqc.org.uk, is a go-to place where you can find every single registered and regulated care provider. If they're not there on the list, then they are not a regulated care provider, and therefore they're outside of any support that you might be looking for from the regulator. It's really important. Next search term criteria is around qualifications and experience of care workers. Queries like certified home care professionals, qualifications of home care staff, or experience of carers for elderly. These are common for families that are seeking some form of assurance about the skills and experience of those delivering care. Now, it might well be, if they're looking for something quite specific around the qualifications and experience of the carer, that they might be looking for some form of personal assistant rather than a regulated care provider. So be careful when you're searching using those qualifications and experience of care workers that you're not dealing with an introduction agency that has no legal responsibility under the Care Quality Commission. They might just be hosting a number of care workers that are looking for work. Be careful. The next area, area 5, is tending to be around personalisation and flexibility. Families often search for personalised home care plans or flexible care schedules or 24-hour home care. So they're looking here to ensure that the services can be tailored to meet the unique needs and timeframes and schedules of their loved ones. Makes sense. Area 6, they tend to focus on regulatory and compliance and safety. Searches include terms like safe home care services, regulated home care providers UK, or even COVID-19 safety in home care. Still a thing, COVID-19 hasn't gone away. Especially given the recent health concerns, people are looking for some surety because they're often concerned about care homes. So they're looking to see what care at home and care in home services are doing in terms of regulatory concerns that they may have and safety concerns. So they're looking to find an agency. Again, they may not know the difference between an introduction agency and a care provider, so they use the word agency. And the final area that people tend to search for is around location. So people frequently add location-based terms such as home care services in, and then they put their city or town or postcode, local personal care services, or care at home providers near me. And this is clearly to try and find agencies operating in their specific area. Now, I've talked about all of these different search terms, and interestingly, we may never know whether or not people are using varieties of these multiple search terms when they make their searches online. But these are certainly key areas that are at the forefront of search terms reported by the major search. But more importantly, from the Chasing Care's perspective, anybody that's looking for a care agency to provide services for a loved one, hopefully this will give you a guide as to what other people are searching for and maybe giving you a few ideas that you hadn't thought of yourself. That's it for today. Search terms that people may or may not use when searching for care for home care providers. Hopefully you found this interesting. If so, please subscribe, like and share. It's really important to us to help grow Chasing Care podcast. And in the meantime, have a great day.